Hi, Scott Berta here. Okay, this is one of the first times I've tried to get Google Gemini to do anything for me, and I thought you guys could all experience my frustration, and we can go through the chat together. And in the end, I'm gonna probably hire a 4-year-old toddler to do the work for me. So, if you're not familiar, there is such a device as a Tandy WP-2. It's a little word processor. Sits on your lap. It's like very like late 80s, early 90s typewriter, digital screen, oversized Game Boy. But if you're seeing this, you probably know what it is. So what I wanted to do, I was inspired to like take an old one and rebuild it and maybe 3D print some new body panels so that I could make it look more like Cyberpunk and make it look like a cyber deck and kind of like gritty and burnt and heat sinky and things like that. So I'm like, you know what? Let's see if I can get AI to generate me a picture. And I'm like, you know what? Even if they can't generate me like a great picture, and maybe it'll give me like the foundation to do something with. So I went into Gemini and I said, I want a Tandy WP-2 word processor, give it heat sinks and like a cyberpunk vibe. And it knew what I was talking about, right? It was like, it replied back and it said, this is a fun creative project, modifying a classic piece of tech like a Tandy WP-2 to give it a cyberpunk aesthetic with heat sinks is a great idea. I love how, AI is so good. Here's a breakdown of what you could do to do this, right? It's like, well, think the cyberpunk aesthetic is a blend of high tech, low life. It's grimy, lived in, functional, futuristic elements, and the WP2 is a perfect canvas. Well, it sounds like Gemini knows what I'm talking about, right? It says core elements. Let's do heat sinks and exposed wiring. Well, maybe not exposed wiring. That's bad cable management. Lighting, sure, why not? We'll do a LED. Some grime and wear, heck yeah. Decals and markings, sure. We'll put like a couple skater stickers on there, and it'll look super good. Materials, heat sinks. Do some acrylic sheets to do some clear cutaways. LEDs for power, things like that. That's awesome. Paint it, sure, why not? Maybe hit it with some metallic silver, rust paint. Maybe hit it with some neons, like some pinks and pastels, just to kind of really bring in that 80s. Um, Adhesives like super glue, sure. Wires, colored wire. I could put some rainbow ID. Screws and nuts and bolts. I feel like that's more steampunk, but I appreciate it. And it says I'll need a screwdriver set, and that's fun. Okay, so I kind of read through this, and I'm like, you know what? Give me a concept picture, right? So I went down here and I said, make this an image. Seems pretty straightforward. And it gave me this. I don't know what this is. If you've seen a WP2, um, okay. It looks nothing like this. Let me just see if I can grab a picture real quick while you guys are waiting, and see what we can't do here. Like, this is what it looks like. It looks like this. Like, I don't understand how that picture that they gave me looks like that. Okay, back to Gemini. So it's not that. And I'm like, that does not look right. And it's like, you are absolutely right. My apologies. I completely misunderstood and created an image that doesn't align with the idea of modifying a Tandy WP2, but rather a generic cyberpunk computer. Yes. I missed the crucial detail of starting with the actual Tandy WP2 design. I like it. My aim was to create an image of the WP2, blah, 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 blah. Here is a corrected attempt, truly building based on the Tandy WP2. Well, here's the picture. And here's the last picture. It moved the screen to the middle. Everything else literally looks identical, even to the like heated glowing exhaust port. Okay, well, let's see if we can push Gemini to do things a little better. Reference images of the Tandy WP-2 on the internet. Oh, look, those are the pictures that I just showed everybody. Okay, I'm like, update the image to look more like the WP-2 seen on the internet. It's just like, oh, thank you for the clarification and reference. You're absolutely right. I need to ensure that the base model is distinctly the Tandy WP2 before applying any Cyberpunk modifications. My apologies for not getting that right in the previous attempts. I will update this image to clearly feature the recognizable design of the Tandy WP2, then apply the requested heat sinks and Cyberpunk aesthetic. Here is an updated image aiming to be much more accurate to the Tandy WP2 base. And this is what he gave me. It still has the heated exhaust port, and it looks like a backlit screen. No, nothing like the reference images, and almost exactly like the images it showed me before the correction. I'm like, okay, you don't listen. So I reply with, this is still not right. The Tandy WP2 is flat and is about 12 inches wide by 10 inches. Okay, you are absolutely right. I sincerely apologize for my continue to miss the mark. My interpretation of the WP2's form factor has been incorrect. I understand now that it is much flatter, wider, and less boxy of a device than what I've been generating. Flat profile, much flatter, about 12 inches by 10 inches. Integrated screen, keyboard layout is QWERTY. Sure, I'll take these critical details into account for the next generation. My goal is to capture accurate, compact, and flat design of the Tandy WP2 first, then apply Cyberpunk modifications with heat sinks. Here's another attempt, focusing intensely on getting close to the shape and dimensions of the Tandy WP2 accurate before adding the Cyberpunk elements. It looks like this. It's flat, looks great, and then they slap the screen at 45 degrees. Not to be confused with the screen at 45 degrees. Or the screen at 45 degrees. Okay. I'm like, the screen is not angled to the keyboard. It looks more like a flat calculator. Ah, you are absolutely correct. My apologies again for repeated misinterpretations. I see now that the screen on your Tandy WP2 is meant to be much flatter and more integrated into the overall flat profile device, similar to a large calculator or an early laptop. Yes, rather than angled or elevated. 100%. I understand the screen should be flat and integrated, not angled upwards relative to the keyboard, but lying in the same general plane. Yes. Small and text-based, a monochrome display, primarily for texts, fitting into the flat, wide form factor. Yes. I will correct this crucial detail in the next image. My focus now is capturing the truly flat, portable, calculator-like profile of the Tandy WP2 with its integrated flat screen before applying Cyberpunk modifications. Here is another attempt with strong emphasis on a flat, integrated screen that aligns with the overall low-profile design of the Tandy WP2. And we have another 45-degree angled screen. It's shorter. It's closer. It's still not flat. It's still not a slate. It's still... Where's my 4-year-old? Sure that they could draw this for me. Okay, still wrong. The picture does not show it completely flat. You're absolutely right. My apologies for the persistent inaccuracy regarding the flatness of the Tandy WP2. I understand now that this device is meant to be almost entirely flat, with the screen being perfectly flush or recessed into the top surface, not at any noticeable angle or elevation. It should look like a single flat slab of technology. I will focus on rendering the Tandy WP2 as a perfectly flat horizontal unit with the screen integrated seamlessly into that flat plane. The Cyberpunk modifications will then be applied to this fundamentally flat base. Here is another attempt with the absolute highest priority on achieving a completely flat profile for the Tandy WP2. Guys, I think finally Gemini figured it out. 100%. Right? This is where we get what we're looking for. Ready? Here's the reveal. I don't get it. Like, it's that 45-degree screen. Like, this looks closer, with the exception of like the number pad, to like a Tandy Model 100 or a Tandy Model 102 if it had a raised back screen. I'm like, you know what? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we should just, let's educate Gemini, right? We got to teach AI to make it smarter. Let's not make it dumber. So I ended up saying to it, do you want me to walk you through how to draw this? Right? In my mind, I know what it should look like. And then Gemini was like, yes, please. I would really appreciate that. My apologies for the persistent errors. It's clear that the specific flat design of the Tandy WP-2 is a unique detail that my model has failed to grasp. Step-by-step instructions on how to visualize and draw it would be incredibly helpful. I am ready when you are. Please go ahead. Cool. And then I asked, if I help you, will you be able to complete this request better for others in the future? And of course, Gemini was like, yes, your help will be extremely valuable. The process of getting specific feedback like this allows me to correct my understanding and generate much more accurate images for you. I can take that new information and apply it to this specific request. And that experience helps me learn to better handle similar requests in the future. Thank you for your patience and for offering to walk me through it. I'm ready to learn. And I say, okay, let's ask to draw me a traditional, I spelled hand wrong, handheld calculator. I don't want a desktop calculator. I want a handheld calculator. Calculator you hold in your hand, you punch in buttons, a flat calculator. And I get, okay, I understand. Let's start with something similar and more universal. Here is an image of a traditional handheld calculator. Ready for it, everybody? Here's the traditional handheld calculator with an angled screen. It's a desktop. This is literally a desktop calculator. It is meant to sit on a desk. It is not flat. Think of your scientific calculators. They're flat handheld calculators. I don't. Maybe it's technology. If you've got comments and you know why it wants to angle displays, I get it. It's more ergonomic, but maybe I asked for it wrong. And if I asked for it wrong, ask me. Tell me I'm wrong. Let's make it better. And I say, okay, let's correct this. The calculator should be a flat model and not have an angled display. And Gemini comes back, understood. My apologies for the angled display again. I will make sure the calculator is depicted as a completely flat model, with the display flush with the surface, similar to how many basic older calculators are designed. I'm like, perfect. Here's a revised image of a traditional handheld calculator, ensuring it's a flat model with a non-angled display. Let's take a look. Ready? The reveal. It's flatter, but it's still angled. I don't know. I don't know. I thought Gemini knew what I was asking for, but close enough. You know what? If I could get it to make the Tandy WP-2 to look like this, I'm sure we could maybe get there. 4-year-old is still looking like the better artist for this. Okay. There is still an angle in relation to the buttons on the screen. Should be at 0 degrees. Okay. You are absolutely correct, and I apologize for the persistent subtle angle. I understand now that flat means absolutely not discernibly inclined whatsoever from the front to the back of the device, or between the screen and the button plane. The top surface, including the screen, should be perfectly parallel to the table it rests on. I will ensure the next image depicts the calculator as a completely flat slab where the screen and the buttons are on a single uniform plane, with no angle relative to each other or the surface it's on. Here is another attempt at a traditional handheld calculator, ensuring it is perfectly flat with the 0 degrees in relation to the buttons. Ready? Everybody, Gemini is going to fix it. And this is what they give me. I'm sorry. Is Gemini flaming me? Is this a troll thing? What is this? I feel like AI is clowning me. That's all I gotta say. I gotta say. I don't even know. You know what? Let's just ask Gemini. Are you messing with me? Let's see what it says. Like, it's not April 1st. No, I'm not absolutely messing you. I sincerely apologize. I don't know. There's a flat calculator. I I have nothing else to say here. I have nothing at all. Please comment, and your feedback is super important. Am I going to try this again in the future? Not for a while. Not until we get to well beyond whatever Gemini 2.5 Flash. Thanks for watching. And if you have any stories like this, put it in the comments. Make your own videos and share them. Literally link them in my comments. I will go through those and I will watch them and I will reply with sad face emojis, hoping things get better. This project was just brutal and a waste of my time, and I hope you get some entertainment value out of watching this video and not the same level of sadness that I endured. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and thank you for watching.